if you're listening to this episode, I want you to give yourself permission and accept that you're doing the best you can with what you have at your disposal. Focus on imagination and resourcefulness. What's going on? You're listening to episode 32 of the Perspective Podcast, and I'm your host, Scotty.D.Russell of Perspective Collective. This show is all about encouraging you to scratch that creative itch. And I want it to be just a weekly push to pursue something that's important to you as well as something that you enjoy doing. As I'm recording this is 4 days away from attending Creative South. I can't explain how excited I am. If I was going to put it into words, I would say this is probably what it feels like to go to Disney World for your first time. I've never been there, but this is what I would compare it to. And I'm trying to get all my ducks in a row, but I still want to put out an episode the same week. I am very passionate about this topic because I am known for beating myself up and being too hard on myself. As an artist, you are a self-art director and you are the hardest person on your work. And this episode is directed towards you if you're the same way. And that's why I titled this one, You're Doing the Best You Can. You got this. It's easy to get caught up in thinking you don't have the best tools, resources, and skills at your disposal. It's even easier to let these obstacles hold you back from pursuing or sticking with something that's important to you. When in reality, it's rare that someone has the skills or the resources right out of the gate. I know I didn't. At the end of the day, it's all about doing something instead of nothing, and realizing that you're doing the best you can. That's all you can and should expect from yourself. When you stick with it and you look back on all the progress you made, you're going to realize that imagination and resourcefulness are a powerful combination, and that's what got you to where you are today. This episode is a daily reminder not only to you, but to myself as well when I get caught up in letting that inner critic try to convince me that I'm not doing enough. And it starts by figuring things out. One of the most challenging things in pursuing something important like your creative career is that you don't always know the exact direction to go. You're going to run into issues like wondering what medium you should create, or what style should you share, or what should the name you create under be. On the flip side, one of the most exciting things is that you don't know the right answer. As a creative, you're a problem solver, and this is what you do best. You have to experiment and figure out what works and what doesn't. Most importantly, you're figuring yourself out along the way. And this is what has held true to me over my 3 years of Perspective Collective being around. Something I struggle with is showing the true foolish side I have in my writing and speaking. I feel this is due to my extensive background in sports, coaching, and training because honestly, I'm not only an artist at heart, but I'm a coach as well. Sadly, I've had anonymous emails sent to me that say that I'm trying too hard. And I'm not going to lie, it cuts deep because I am trying. I've only been blogging for about 2 years now. I've been speaking for 1 year, and I've only been podcasting for 8 months. I am no expert. I'm not considering myself a professional yet, but I realize there's a ton of room for improvement, and I have a long ways to go. I'm still figuring out how to inject my humor into my monologues while still getting my point across. It's easy in my art because I've been drawing my entire life and I don't have to speak or write. And I want you to know more about me. I want you to know my goofy little quirks. Like, I love puns. You already know this one, but I'm addicted to everything pizza. My wife and I like to hold conversations with our cats in weird high-pitched voices. I also like to shred the dance floor at weddings. If there's a circle going on, I'm going to get right in the middle of that circle after I've had a couple drinks. And I also like to shred the dance floor in my kitchen. Weirdly enough, a fun fact about me is that I love to freestyle. Give me an instrumental, give me a beat, and just let me do my thing. When this one, I got this one from my brother Travis. When someone bends over, I like to make fart noises out loud, or if I don't know you well enough, I can't help it, I'm going to make it in my head. Especially if it's like someone at the grocery store. My wife hates it. But yeah, she does it too. You know, honestly, I'm a downright fucking fool sometimes, but you don't always see or hear this side of me while I'm on the podcast or in my blog posts. I'm still learning how to blend all of this together, but I'm doing the best that I can right now. Something we all struggle with is understanding that the tools don't make the artist. If you're like me, I'm guilty of thinking that I needed the best pencils, pens, paper, or equipment to get me on the level of the people I look up to. I'm past the point of thinking my drawing utensils are the key to unlocking artistic greatness, becoming that next Bob Ross. I'm convinced I could create a masterpiece with a crayon right now because the tools don't make the artist. It's all about the craft. However, I'm still extremely hard on myself for not having the money nor the resources to have the video and photo equipment or even the skills I feel I need to stand out. And each day I have to constantly remind myself that I'm doing the best I can right now with what I have. I saw a post recently that convinced me that there are plenty of ways to shine without the fanciest equipment. So Pinkoro, Pinkoro, I have the name listed in my show notes, but they posted a video of them writing the word pizza. Just the word pizza in a simple sans serif with, I believe it was a Sharpie. I have to go pull up the video, but they then turned the word into a pizza illustration. It's extremely simple, yet an extremely creative concept. However, the video was not high quality and there was a lot of flickering, which can be distracting. I'm pretty sure they probably shot the video with their cell phone and some really crappy lighting. Do you think this stopped the video from going viral? I'm literally now seeing this video all over Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I've linked it up in the show notes over at perspective-collective.com/32. And I keep seeing it because people like to tag me in pizza stuff now, so I continue to keep seeing this. And this is a prime example that you can use your phone and your creativity, which is resourcefulness and imagination, to stand out amongst the sea of noise, which is social media. Right now, in this point of my creative career, I'm a content creator and I am an artist on a budget. I would give anything to have a high-end camera like a super sweet Canon and an amazing rig setup to record my work, but it's just not in my budget right now, and I don't want to live outside my means. And my ghetto video recording setup consists of basically my phone tripod wrapped around my lamp, and I have a cracked screen on my iPhone 6 Plus, but I make it work. And I'm going to link up all the equipment I use in my show notes so you can see what I'm working with over here. It's nothing fancy. And for my podcast, I have a very basic setup too. I don't have all the fanciest equipment I thought I needed, and my office is far from soundproof. However, I put a lot of attention into getting the best audio quality out of my mic and learning how to edit properly so this doesn't sound like turds on your end. What I do is far from perfect. What you do is far from perfect. But I can't let not having these fancy tools and resources hold me back from starting like it used to or sticking with it. At the end of the day, I'm showing up and I'm doing something rather than nothing. What about you? Are you caught up in feeling like you need these fancy tools and you need the fanciest resources? You can't start or you have to quit because you don't have what you need? If you're listening to this episode, I want you to give yourself permission and accept that you're doing the best you can with what you have at your disposal. Focus on imagination and resourcefulness. just like Pincaro did with the pizza video, as these are your secret weapons during these stages of your creative career where you don't have all the money, the finances, or the tools. Please remind yourself that you're human. You're going to deal with these phases of doubt and feeling that you need more to stand out. I deal with them all the time. Every day I deal with this, and I see these great videos or great, amazing photos with people where I'm like, wow, I know they have nicer equipment than me, or wow, I know their skill set's way better than me. I wish my stuff could look like that. So like, I deal with that too. But during these times where you want to quit or you feel like you're not doing enough, remind yourself you're doing the best you can. And that's why at the end of each episode, I tell you, you got this, because you do. You got this. It's a learning curve. It's experimenting. It's figuring out what is and isn't working. It's all these things wrapped up into one. And 3 years from now, when I just started Perspective Collective and you are doing your business or your creative path, you're going to look back and feel like, wow, I can't believe I've come this far off these shitty little tools and resources. And it was really my imagination and this perseverance that got me to where I'm at today. So you are human. You're not the only one that deals with this, but keep reminding yourself you're doing the best you can. If you're finding any value in these episodes, there are a few ways that you can give back to the show. The first being just leaving a positive review over at iTunes. It really helps the show get discovered. Also, just sharing it on social media. That has easily been the biggest way that this show is growing so quickly over the past few months, is because people like you are sharing it on Instagram and Twitter and sharing it with a friend who may just need that pick-me-up. And the final way is over at Patreon, Perspective Podcast. It's just a way for you to donate $1, $3, or $5, etc. per podcast episode. It helps offset the ever-growing cost of keeping up with hosting and trying to update equipment. Every little bit goes a long way in helping me keep this show going and elevating the quality to where I know it can be. If you're at Creative South this week, make sure you say what's up to me. I got a couple different pizza stickers I'm handing out. I'm just trying to meet and chop it up with as many creatives as possible. So don't hold back. Go talk to your heroes. Go reach out to your favorite speakers, your favorite workshop leaders, and come say what's up to me. I'd love to meet you. I need to also give a huge thank you to Nick Jenkins of Blookah for all the dope-ass theme music you hear on this show. Regardless if you like it or not, I love it, and I like to help my friends get noticed as well, especially when they're as talented as Nick. You can find him over at soundcloud.com/Blookah. That's BLOOKAH. And as always, I want to thank you so much for lending me this time out of your existence and lending me your ears. I am so thankful and appreciative, and you have no idea what it means to me that you care to listen. It means the world to me. And I want to continue to just encourage you to keep showing up, keep putting in the work, and keep creating. You got this.